Welcome in on a big night of NBA Cup action. I'm Taylor Rooks, joined by Dirk Nowitzki, Candace Parker, Swin Cash, Udonis, Haslem, and I'm hearing we've got our winner. Jamal Murray is joining us for Wayfair Best Seat in the House. Jamal, welcome in. This was a battle beginning to end. There he is. 10 lead changes, 7 ties. What did this one take down the stretch, Jamal?
It took a lot. It's a good team on the road, a cup game. We had to really execute down the stretch and rebound. That was a big key going into the game. So I think we did those things to end the game, and we just got to stay consistent with it. So that was a good team win.
Congrats, Jamal. How did you guys limit Durant and Şengün to 27 points? They're obviously incredible, have an incredible year. How did you guys do it?
Just making them feel pressure, making them feel uncomfortable. Being physical, being there on the catch, just making them think about everything they do. And, at the same time, they still had a great game. And, they're tough players. So, we just I'm happy with what we did. Our defensive execution, our defense attention to detail was really good tonight throughout the game. So, like I said, it's a really good team win.
Jamal, I understand in the playoffs, 2023, we saw a lot of you and Jokic in that pick and roll to close games. Can you take me through what that's like in the fourth quarter? Because it just seems like the league is having trouble stopping it every single night.
Ain't no seems like.
That big smile on his face, he knows.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's just really free flowing. I've been saying that for years. Like there's no, it doesn't really matter who shoots it. It doesn't matter who gets the ball when we have the ball or whatever. We're just playing with whatever is open and whatever is there. So, I love how we can just, play with a lot of trust for each other. I think that's the main thing. We play with a lot of trust and chemistry and belief in each other down the stretch. So that's the biggest thing. I've been here for 10 years now. He's been here for, I think, 11. So my guy, Fred, man, get better, bro. But yeah, man, it's just a blessing to have, play alongside, the best player in the world for so long. So it's really grateful.
And Jamal, congratulations. It's interesting because you talked about you being there 10 years. You talked about Joker being there 10 years. But let's talk about the young buck. We talk about Peyton Watson right now. And I know what he did last game offensively, but we just talk about him being a Swiss Army knife, stepping into that role, starring in that role, guarding multiple positions, rebounding, bringing that effort and that energy, and what a guy like that can do for your team.
It's huge. He's really starting to get better at picking his spots, not feeling like he has to force a shot every time, running the floor, setting good screens, just all the little stuff. And I think that gives him a lot of confidence throughout the game. And then obviously when he's making shots and doing what he does, that just adds on to it. But, just his attention to detail and his growth throughout the year and, even from last year, it's just a whole different mindset change for him. So I'm just really proud of him. And, he doesn't, take criticism bad. And I can talk to him freely and truly. And he just listens to what I'm saying, but not how I'm saying it. So he's going to keep getting better. And I think this is just a start.
And you talked, Jamal, about just that connectiveness that you have with Jokic. But I want to talk about Bruce in the first half. And then you have Tim, another vet, in the second half. They both were able to insert some offense for you out there when there were times where you guys were a little bit stagnant. Can you talk about having those vets and just moments like this when AG goes down and you can depend on your bench, your players really coming in and contributing?
Yeah, they understand the game. They understand what's needed at whatever time the game is at. I think that's huge. And those guys come in with a lot of confidence. Like I said, we trust them. We play with a lot of belief. There's no second guessing in our passes. When we make a mistake, we move on. So I just think we've done a great job of just building that kind of chemistry, that kind of trust with each other. And the game speaks for itself. So like I said, it's just early in the year, but I know we can get a lot better, and we will.
Hey, Jamal, you look great here early in the season. Is it just about having a healthy off season, and how did you approach the off season, and what do you see here early on in the season for you?
It was a really good off season, man. It was really good. I had a lot of time off. I had a lot of time to, get my body back in shape. I had a lot of time to, work on my game and be in a fresh spot for the start of the season. So, when I get the rest like that and don't have to, commit to a lot of stuff in the off season, then I come in ready to play. And that's what my team, expected of me and needed of me this year. And that's what I'm here to do. So, we got a big goal in mind, and, I want to be, I don't want to be a letdown for my team. So, I'm here to win.
All right.
You know, Jamal, this is your third 20-point, 10-assist game this season. So before I let you go, I need to let you know, UD has been campaigning for it is time for Jamal Murray to be an all-star. So I got to give UD the floor there.
I have been campaigning for you to be an all-star, but it all started from me complaining about what you did to me and my team. So I'm going to just tell you where it was built from and where it started at. But I am a huge fan of everything you're doing right now, and I'm happy you're healthy because I've seen the best version of Jamal Murray, and I think the world needs to continue to see that. So hopefully you're in the all-star game. My favorite Canadian. Don't tell Steve.
We're not going to tell him.
Congrats, man.
Don't worry, I'll tell him.
Yes, Jamal, always a pleasure to watch you on the court, and thank you so much for joining us here. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Love it. They're certainly in a groove. Always fun, of course, to watch Jamal and Jokic in that pick and roll. And Dirk, you were just talking about that two-man game and how lethal it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's down the stretch. That's all they go to. And, you know, as he talked about, they don't really have it scripted. They're so good at playing off each other. Sometimes Jokic might keep it, fake it. Jamal come off shooting. If he doesn't have it, he pass it back. Then Jokic can go in this package, shoot, lift and drive, or you know, pass and kick to somebody else. So they're just so smart. And like he mentioned too, they played with each other so long now. I think they know each other's exact moves. They know what the other guy's thinking, where he wants the ball. So it's just a lethal combination. Whatever you really try, it doesn't work. Because if you switch, Joker's too big. And so whatever you really throw at them, they have seen, they have the experience, and you just can't really stop it.
I mean, you have two teams that are basically mirror image of each other, but one team was getting better shots down the stretch. Both teams are going to their pick and roll. Both teams are getting in the pocket with their big guys who can make plays and score. Both teams have a guy on the baseline or whatever. But one team was getting better shots. The adjustment to bring Joker up in those pick and rolls when Kevin Durant came off. The adjustment to bring Joker up in those pick and rolls when Reece Shepherd was coming off. Those things, those little differences. I love this game because this game wasn't just about A, B, and C. This is about the adjustments. What are we going to do when we get to plan D and E and all those different things? So many adjustments. It was almost like a playoff vibe, just going back and forth playing chess with each other.
And to add to that, they were doing all of this without Aaron Gordon, which is one of the best cutters and best third option.
Yes.
You call
best
it?
Third option.
Best third option out there. And I say that because Jokic and Jamal are deadly, but then when you bring that third help side defender in to try to help, Aaron Gordon has done a great job of not settling. He's a great cutter. And so honestly, if the Rockets are a mirror image of the Nuggets, I look for Amen Thompson to take a page out of Aaron Gordon's book and start cutting and start being in that dunker spot that you talked about. Because I think that's what really will unlock the offense when Şengün gets going, when KD doesn't have his shot. It's that cutting action that you should expect from him.
And the thing about it is we've seen that. We've seen that from Amen. And I think the issue was they didn't get to it enough today because Şengün was too busy a lot of times backing down from the half court. So positioning him on the floor, we didn't see that as much. Now, when they would take a book out of Jokic, out of Denver's playbook, they would have him in that kind of elbow area. They would then have you on a baseline. A man would be on the dunker. We didn't see much of that today from that standpoint. But let me talk about this real quick. We know that Jamal and Jokic, we know what they can do in the pick and roll. That front office has done a phenomenal job of finding the right pieces. Guys that understand whether it's the shooting, whether it's the slashing, whatever you need to go around those two pieces, that's what the name of the game is. Because even when guys leave, you refill with the same guys that have the skill set to help you make everyone else better. And I think that's what they've been able to do year in and year out. And guys know their roles and we know what they're going to go to. What I didn't see was more KD for me down the stretch. The ball in his hands just a little bit more because his triggers, you talk about it all the time, UD. He's going to get you a trigger. And even if it's a double, we're getting to the second option, the third option. I didn't see enough of that, I thought, down the stretch.
I needed more deception. I don't need him bringing the ball up because the defense will load up. Bring it up on the strong side, swing it to him on the weak side, then come up and set a pick and roll. That way you can loosen up the defense a little bit. If he's going to bring it up, then you're going to set a pick and roll. Joker's already made the plan to be up on the pick and roll. The defense is already set. So just a little more deception. I'm not a coach. Ime's great at what he does.
Yes, he is.
So I'm sure he will make the adjustment. But just a little more deception with him coming off that pick and roll, I think will help free KD up.
But that was what Denver's defense did to the Rockets. That has been their game plan this entire season. Şengün backing him down, initiating the offense. And Joker, he almost had a triple-double. But on the defensive end is where he stood out. I don't know many people that are going to stand Şengün up like Jokic did. He took a couple fouls, had 5 early in that fourth quarter. But I thought the difference is he took the Rockets' offense out of rhythm.
Yes.
Because Şengün wasn't initiating the offense. He wasn't able to get to his spin and his easy paint points.
Dirk, what did you see in that battle between baby Jokic and Jokic?
Yeah, I mean, Şengün didn't get to his spots. You know, he's so big, he usually overpowers guys. And then when he drives on the top, he gets so deep on the left. And then when he spins, he's literally like 5-6 feet from the rim. So he shoots his little jump hook or his little leaning in. I feel like against Joker, he didn't get to that spot. Joker stood him up earlier, already free throw line. He had to back out, try another move. And so I think Joker did a great job on him. Overall, they got the, I mean, like I said, they held KD and Şengün to 27 points combined. So they did something right. Every time KD came down the stretch, came off a pick and roll, they trapped him, got the ball out of his hands. So, sorry. I felt like they had a great game plan, limiting these two, and that's why they walked away with the win.
And Candace, I love when you talk about when you were playing the guy coming up and you're the guy, you got to come up a little bit in the game.
You got to let him know.
Yeah.
You got to let him know. We saw this, in Steph Curry when he was playing Trae Young, dropped a 50-piece in Atlanta, and Jokic made that point tonight. Listen, there's levels to this. I understand, you may be next, but taking a challenge, defending him. How many times do we get to see superstars guard one another?
Yes.
And we got to see that today on full display. Şengün was 1 of 8 versus Jokic today. Yep. And so I think Jokic won that matchup and made his point.
Yeah, great game. Started slow, but man, did it get intense there in the end. Another great NBA Cup Friday is almost in the books. We are one step closer to having our final 8 teams locked in. And coming up, we are going to break down this Friday night in the East. Oh, show us the moves, highlights, standings, and the latest snapshot of the knockout stage. That's after this.
To the NBA is awesome, and to have that in-season tournament brings that kind of playoff energy early on in the season.
Yeah, the Cup, it's just pretty elite, honestly. I think the NBA hit a home run with it. I think that it gives every team in the NBA like a fresh start. It gives everybody an opportunity to compete for something that's special. It gives everybody an opportunity to go to Vegas. So I think what they did with that was really clever, and they hit a home run.
The chance to win a title, the chance to win some moolah, and the chance to go to Vegas. It's tough to argue that. These were the standings at the start of this Cup Friday in the Eastern Conference. Now let's take a look around the league. Pacers, Cavs, Darius Garland back for this game.
He back.
We had fun watching this one. Garland, pump fakes, drives down the baseline, hits the bucket, plus the foul.
Well, you get it started coming back. You want easy at the bucket.
Getting to it. He said, hello.
And he buries the step back 3 there. Cavs lead by 7 in the third. Cavs lead by 3. Donovan Mitchell drains the pull-up jumper.
Oh, man.
Draws the foul.
Taylor early, Donovan Mitchell came out, unlocked Evan Mobley, and then he said, hold up, it's my turn, I'm Spider.
Yeah, and he showed us. Getting the crowd going. Fourth quarter, Cavs up 19, and Mitchell just piling it on like Candace said. There's another 3.
This is just a dagger right here. That was a dagger. And remember, Indiana was making a run right there.
Yep, Pascal Siakam here. Drains the corner 3.
And talk about Indiana just competing. I mean, depleted, but just competing play after play. You love to see that.
Garland finds Evan Mobley to throw down the jam. Mobley finished with 22 points. The Cavs win this one. It was a fun one. Donovan Mitchell ends this with 32. And here he is with Cassidy Hubbard after the win.
You guys pretty much played to the end as you're still in the hunt for the wild card in the NBA Cup. How much are you guys focused on this NBA Cup push going forward?
I wanted to stay in, but they took us out. So we obviously, anytime you can play for a championship, right, you want to. But, at the end of the day, continue to find ways to score and drive the score up. And I think Toronto's ahead of us, so hopefully they lose tonight or something. But at the end of the day, man, we just keep playing hard, keep doing our thing, keep building some process, and go from there.
All right, the Raptors can clinch a spot in the Emirates Cup knockout round.
Okay, GT, we see you.
They feeling it.
Let's do that. Come on.
Jamal Shed with a pass in the paint on a fast break to Mamu. Dunk.
Love the Raptors, man. A lot of people think the Heat lead the league in fast break points, but it is Toronto Raptors.
Yep.
They are getting out. They are running.
They are running.
Late in the second, Scotty Barnes with the steal that leads into the running dunk. by Brandon Ingram. Ingram had 24 points. The Raptors leading by 10 at the half.
Okay, Glow.
Come on, yeah,
Glow.
Glow. Yeah, Glow.
Big Glow.
Don't make me start rapping. All right, finishing up in the fourth quarter here. R.J. Barrett come through with the slam down. Fun game. Toronto's rolling.
We're not going to talk about the other side, but what we will talk about is that Toronto team. We got a lot of guys that people written off. And I love the fact that those guys are coming together and they're winning basketball games.
Yeah. Candace and I are just happy we get to talk about Glorilla.
Listen.
Oh,
come on, Candace. All right, here are the Raptors after the game.
I think it's awesome. I think our guys deserve the opportunity to compete in that setup. It's going to be really different feeling for us because it's going to be one game that can decide are you going to Final Four or not. Definitely, we do have ambition and desire to be there.
Watched it on TV last year. And it looked kind of like playoff basketball. So to get in that environment and be in that crowd is just going to be amazing.
Hey, Raptors coming for that NBA Cup, y'all.
Hey, listen, can Scotty Barnes lead? It looks like he's doing a really pretty good job of leading. That's the next step. The maturation of growth is, can I lead a team?
Yeah.
Shout out to healthy Brandon Ingram that's out there doing his thing, 24, 8, and 6. Big time.
Big time. All right, let's check in with the Nets and the Celtics. Michael Porter Jr. taking on Jaylen Brown in Boston. NBA Cup East Group B matchup, second quarter. Anthony Simons to Nicholas Cater. Poster dunk over Noah Clowney there. All right, the third quarter. Nets up 9. Michael Porter Jr. to Nic Claxton for the alley-oop dunk. Brooklyn leads by 8 now. Celtics trying their best to fight back. Jaylen Brown drives through contact for the layup.
Tough.
Finished this one with 26 points. Headed to the fourth quarter. Brown, full court pass to Jordan Walsh in transition. He lays it in, and it's timeout for Brooklyn. Celtics cut the lead to 6 after being down 17. Late in the fourth, Nic Claxton to MPJ slams it down.
Oh, okay.
See, big fella. Easy, man.
Claxton had his first career triple-double. First for the Nets since Ben Simmons in 2023.
I picked the Celtics for once.
And look what they did. See, that's why you got to stay true.
Never again.
Here's the East Group B standings there. Pistons on top, followed by the Magic. And again, always keeping an eye on that point differential there. Let's check in with the Heat and the Bulls. We had Nikola Jokic and the Bulls coming off their buzzer beater win on Wednesday, taking on the Heat in Eastern Conference Group C. Early first quarter, Heat down 3. Bam Adebayo.
There he is.
Nails the 3. The Heat tied at 5. Bam finished with 18. Middle of the first, Patrick Williams finds Jalen Smith, who throws down that monster dunk. That's nasty, Dirk.
Not bad.
Bulls up 2, late second quarter.
Defense.
Khalil Ware. What you seeing here, UD?
I mean, getting out on the break, being active on the perimeter, he has the ability to switch 1 through 5 and eliminate triggers. So I love to see the way he's playing.
UD, I saw 64-39.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. The Bulls. He's going on a run.
Going around right now.
Norm Powell.
Yeah, the Heat were up 20 after that made free throw early in the fourth. Heat up 26. Bam Adebayo finds Jaime Jaquez, who drains the
143 of them things.
Mama said there'd be days like that. Sometimes it's like that.
And the Heat are rolling in this one behind the Bucks there in the standings, UD.
Y'all in there, UD?
They're looking good. Did you pick him? You picked them to win the Cup.
I sure did. Bucks can run, but they can't hide.
Sure.
Well, listen, right now, when we were all talking about the East coming into the season, I don't know if the Raptors were on top of anybody's list, but they are showing us what they can do after their best start to a season since the 1920 season at 11-5. What is working for Toronto, Candace?
Well, Toronto has gone out and gotten length at every position. You talk about starting with Barnes. You go out and acquire Ingram last year. They were unhealthy. This year they're coming in full-fledged, and I think they're doing a great job of capitalizing off their defense. They're running. They're utilizing their playmakers. Ingram played point guard with the Lakers. He played point guard with New Orleans, so he's used to having the ball in his hand. And they're doing a great job of playing 0.5. Everybody's eating. They're moving the ball around. And I think that they're doing a great job. I think I am surprised at how well they're adjusting and adapting to this new offense.
Yeah, their coach is doing a great job having them compete on the defensive end. They got length, they got athleticism, they got youth. They're competing hard. They're flying around on defense. They're running off shooters, creating turnovers, and then they're off running. Love how they're moving bodies, moving the ball offensively. Everybody gets to touch it and make stuff happen. They got some guys playing really well. Mamu off the bench. I mean, they got a lot of guys. They got 3 guys with Barnes, Barrett, and obviously Ingram averaging over 19 a game, which is hard to do. So they're surprising a lot of people, and they're super fun to watch.
Let me tell you something about having a chip on your shoulder. When you have a chip on your shoulder, it will make you a monster. There's got a lot of guys in that locker room with chips on their shoulders. B.I., you talked about it being with the Lakers. You talked about it being with the Pelicans. He was supposed to be the guy there. You talked about quickly, and R.J. Barrett. They were supposed to be the future in New York. This was supposed to be the future of New York. And in an instance, you're moved. Those guys have a chip on their shoulders. That allows you to sacrifice. That allows you to put yourself in a position to be the best version, to prove people wrong. I like what they're doing, and I hope they continue, because I played 99% of my career with a damn chip on my shoulder. 99.
It worked out.
And if I didn't have one, I found one. If I didn't have one, I found one. Oh, I make up stuff about you all the time, Dirk. It had nothing to do with you at all, but that's what I needed to do.
You know what I do want to give a shout out to is there were some changes, obviously, in the front office for Toronto. There's changes that was with the coaching staff. And a lot of times that can be a distraction. But they have such a great process in place during the summer where a lot of times there's teams that don't even really see each other. Their core players spent time. And so I think they're reaping the benefits early because of the process they put in this summer, really taking that time to spend with each other. We know how they train in LA. We know I know all of the teams when we're at NBA Summer League, what veterans are there for a couple of days that are getting workouts in and who has a handful of guys. And you can then think about what it's going to look like early on in the season, like who's committed. And Toronto was one of those teams where if you look at the work they were putting in this summer, like you could see, all right, if they just came out and they played hard and their talent kind of took over, they're all buying into the same system right now. That's what I think gave them this edge early on.
And, you know, we see that conga line that they do in the beginning of the games. That's something that Garrett Temple has been leading them in. And I know how much you talk about that team chemistry. Yeah, hey, he's going to be on a team, okay?
Well, Miami was one of them. Down there, too.
But we had him in New Orleans, and listen. He's a Bayou boy, but I tell you this about Garrett Temple, one of the best and one of my favorites in the NBA, because people look at the value on a piece of paper of what you bring. A lot of times people don't understand. Sometimes it's those veterans, it's those guys that are in the locker room, that glue that's handling a lot of stuff coaches, front office don't have to deal with. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
Garrett Temple.
But joy is important. I think it is the intangible in championship teams is playing with joy. So I'm not entering into Toronto into the discussion of a championship.
But they got joy. They
have joy. They have one part of it.
Yep, and they've won 6 straight for the first time since February 2022. Okay. So Raptors fans feeling a lot of joy, too.
Excited.
All right, next Friday, it's Black Friday game day and the last night of Emirates NBA Cup group play on Prime. Bucks Knicks, Mavs Lakers, and Zach Lowe of The Ringer will join us to talk all things NBA Cup. That coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime. And coming up next, we are going out west, baby. Which teams are looking like contenders? Who's facing elimination? So many questions. We break it all down right after this.